We have permanent Twitch drops on, so there should be something, but that's probably not accurate for what we actually have right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the. We have demi-human, so it's probably the best in slot here. I guess you could get special modifiers, but I don't think they would outperform it enough. Okay, so we want everything on here. That's wrong. That's correct. That's better. Okay, so level 2 loot scroll. We're going to pop the Agris. Let's see. Alright, so Jade 2024. They are AP capped to 30%, so whatever I do here won't be, like, insane. In fact, I'm almost tempted to do Exquisite. It does give down attack damage, actually. So I'd lose critical damage, but I'd get... Well, I'm going to use simple for the down attack. Okay. What do we have? 323. I guess I don't even need to use my horse buff because I don't really think it would be a point to that. So hopefully I have 100% KD resistance. I forgot that I lag a little bit here in Remastered. But
I hate Rangers! I fucking hate them!
thinking of returning, still enjoy it. Oh, BDO? BDO is in a great state if you aren't only invested in PvP, I guess is what I would say. Of all the things that BDO is struggling with most, it's probably PvP. But we'll see. There's a couple bright spots PvP-wise, so that's that. I just need to turn the attack sound down real quick. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. But in most major other ways, BDO is very cool. Lots of great updates. Lots of quality of life. Especially if you've played a long time ago, you'll be like blown away at a lot of things. I mean, I've played since launch, so, you know, a long time now, but even though I've kept up with those updates, I like, still some of it is like, whoa. I think I might try to kill the elites on the totem they spawn on, just because pulling them sometimes gets a little bit messed up. But also, just might be able to pump them enough now to not rely on the totem or the pull method. Hey, Dead Spell. Thank you so much, man. Oops. Riggs got lucky. I think the very, very minimum, Limburg, I think you'd... Just for a hit of nostalgia, as well as like, oh my god, look how much this has changed, you'd be like, whoa. But yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dad. The best spot in the game. Certainly one of the most beautiful spots in the game. In fact, I'm over clearing this rotation. How can I extend it? That one doesn't want to respawn. We could kill these ones. god, they would just like annoyingly spread for the Ranger Awakening AoE. Forget these totems sometimes have weird hitboxes, so I fly through them. Yeah, that's Yizrad Highlands. Or I just call it legs, but yeah. What's up, Gates? Yeah, Marnie realms do spawn faster. Are you just saying that just for like a random fact of the day? I wish I didn't have like the lag spikes here. That's a shame. It's not very well optimized as an area for remaster, but it looks so good. You just complained about overclearing. Yeah, Marnie would be way worse, so I guess you've probably never been here. Well, yeah, but I'm gonna say something really mean. That's because you're a gearlet. Yeah, you. Last time I was here, and I just checked with chat, it's very bad on Marnie here. You'd have to be very low geared for it to be okay.
Rangers! I fucking hate them!
Dragon, thanks for following, man. Appreciate that. Oh, well. Did not want to get CC'd. Still annoying to kill those even with more gear. How high over the AP cap do you need to be? Well, pretty high. You also want fully optimized crystals and light stones. It's not, it is capped severely, but not as severely as Elvia, so it's 30% of your AP. So still, you still got a decent chunk of your AP. So every 10 AP you gain over the bracket, you're still getting 3, which is decent. I was against the fence. Yeah, those braziers do die fast, so clearly they're not AP caps. If you're missing, it's not because of your level, it's because of your accuracy. A lot of these later game grind spots have decent evasion, so you do need decent accuracy. So don't neglect things like Elcars or Jins. It's nothing to do with your level. Well, it would be if you were 59 probably, but... yeah, last time it was Awakening Novas that were like so good at this, but... Yeah, well, it would depend on class to class. Some classes have inherently higher accuracy than others, you know? And then of course, some classes will evasion debuff very effectively versus others. So there's all kinds of things that go into that. Why there'll be class to class discrepancies despite the fact that you have the same gear. You know, you don't have the same hidden stats and prep stats, you know? Your Woos is super good at DR Shred. It's just not as good at Evasion Shred from mobs' perspective, at least. Although it's still not bad, so I would probably just look more into the class and see what you're supposed to be doing. But again, you can mitigate that just by running more accuracy. But yeah, think about like little things like, oh, if I use this wizard skill, it adds an evasion debuff, right? So that's really making a big difference when you're grinding. You know, check your add-ons. You have accuracy and evasion add-ons. That's another easy way to get them, you know? You know, at those kind of grind spots, if you are struggling a little bit with accuracy, it's always really worth it, right? You know, you of course want minus monster DP, but what'll really help you is... getting all the evasion dealt with, I guess, because obviously missed hits are less damage. So. I think, to be honest with you, Woos is probably going to be fine once you delve a little deeper anyway. I think it deals with evasion relatively well. Yeah, it's really good at shredding DR, but I think it can deal with evasion just fine. But they don't have crazy evasion, those mobs, but they do have noticeable evasion that you can't just have Dawn's Gloves and expect to succeed. Or the accuracy Dawn's Gloves and expect to succeed, sorry. I haven't had to level up Gathering in a really long time. But aren't there like really good Gathering options for specifically XP? I don't know if like it's like Pilgrims or what, but maybe the fruits of bear. I don't know. Oh my gosh, she gets pumped now. Holy shit. Is she AP capped? Not AP capped? Is it bear is the highest XP? Yeah. You just have to be in the right area for it. You got actually. Actually? I just realized, like, I'm on, like, the one channel in the universe that doesn't have a Sangoon kill on it, and I could have killed Sangoon. Actually, to be fair, the amount of white dots I've seen in the middle island area, I probably would have lost the channel to someone. Although then I would have fought for it, but, you know. Too bad it's not a personal buff. What is the Caphras drop rate for Jade? Oh, that reminds me, I didn't take the daily here. Yeah, it was really good, but I'd have to tell you after the hour. Oh, you're on the channel that I did all the drops on? Or the bosses, not drops. I mean, you just get a lot of spirit dust you can probably see from my drop feed here. I really hope that they expand Mountain of Eternal Winter after they're done with Land of the Morning Light. This region is just desperate for like a big expansion like Valencia style. What's my average trash loot here? No idea. I haven't been here in many, many moons. So we're going to find out in 41 minutes. What class is this? Awakening Ranger. The neat part is Awakening Ranger's skill effects kind of match the grind spots skill effects. Is that not the same dude that, like, was waiting there? Or is that a different ninja? That guy saw me, right? He was stood there. Still wants to kill my mobs. It's kind of rude. Please don't ruin my trash per hour test, ninja, I swear. You guys are busy defining gearlet, huh? Any rememberers of the old soft cap? Ask nicely. What? To grind my own spot? Stop being a dick. I don't care. Hang on. Whatever, dude. What the fuck did I just read? In what universe does he think he's like done anything here where I've like offended him? I'm grinding the spot. He starts grinding on my spot after seeing me grind my spot. I said, do you mind? He moves on. Still starts clearing mobs on my grind spot. And then he said, ask nicely. And told me to stop being a dick. Like... What class is this? Awakening Ranger. Yeah, I left because I was having like big frame rate issues in large scale PvP. And because obviously I was already playing Succession, which wasn't ideal. As much as I loved the guild, I was going to put a hole in my monitor if I kept lagging as badly as I was. So I went back to small scale PvP. Unfortunately, thank you, PA. The only available small scale PvP there is in the game is tier 1 and to a lesser extent tier 2. Those are the smallest nodes in the game, which is, you know, the small nodes are great because I can play Awakening, it's fun. But although tier 1 AP cap is not it, I'm just telling you right now. The caps on tier 1 are so bad. Anyway, that's beside the point. I needed small-scale PvP again, so... Guild League. Well, I can't just be in Orca and be like, hey, I'm just going to do Guild League. It doesn't work like that. As for Guild League being small-scale, yes, I guess it is. But it's limited in a sense because you have to have kind of the right class. I feel like Awakening Ranger in the sweatier comps is going to be... I mean, I don't know. Ask Ben if they'd ever bring an Awakening Ranger versus, you know, everything else they bring, right? So. I still like doing Node Wars. I just don't want to do large-scale Node Wars playing spec I don't really care for and lagging as badly as I was. Although I am actually now closer to the bottom of what the problem was. I think it is my internet. Don't think it was a hardware issue. So there's that. I mean, the downside is I can't do anything about that, but... Anyway. Well, here's the problem, right, Rossby? So... I could do what I'd done before, which is like anti-cannoning or cannon defense with Awakening Ranger. That's true. And I did think about it, but the problem is I like to stream the content, but I can't because it's a much more sensitive role in terms of positioning and being people spying on your stream and stuff. So I'd have to add delay, and delay on streams is just the killer. It just sucks. So that was the problem with that. But I did think about maybe like I could do that instead. Because I've done that before, and actually it was pretty fun, but like I said, you know, I would need to delay. You know, Fufu was very nice. You know, I didn't have to add delay for being in main raid in Orca, so that was really cool. But that was great for streaming, but what wasn't great for streaming was my literal, like, temper tantrums because my game would just freeze the second we make contact with an enemy, meaning I couldn't play the game. I couldn't put my inputs in. It was making me irate. So I just, you know, I didn't want to be dealing with that all the time because I just, yeah, my mental wasn't coping with it. So yeah, these guys are really nice in rule. I mean, obviously I miss being an Orca, but these guys are really nice. A lot of cool people here. And I'm just, you know, I'm here to like rock in and do whatever I can. I still get some frame rate issues, but it's not as bad in the small scale. You are Ranger. Yes, Awakening Ranger. Common typo. Yeah, so interesting question. Obviously, I get asked this quite a lot. As someone who's played Awakening Ranger, well, Ranger and then Awakening Ranger for 8 years, and most people do swap around their classes a lot. Obviously, I've like flirted with other classes before, like just to play them on the side. I really like Awakening DK. I always have. It's definitely the coolest of the DK specs. It's not popular because obviously you can play Succession, which is not only easier to play, but more powerful. Which is a shame because Awakening DK is so much swag. My favorite skill effects in the entire game belong to Awakening DK, in my opinion, but, you know. What else? So there was a time I was going to roll Sork for PvE. When Awakening Ranger initially got hit with the major nerfs. Long before Succession had been out, when we were grinding Histria, we got hit with a big Will of the Wind nerf and no compensation. Meanwhile, Sorks were outperforming the original Awakening Ranger speed. I almost rolled Sork. It was really hard to roll back then, though, so I just couldn't commit to the full, like, switcheroo to Sork for PvE. You couldn't tag, so there weren't even weapon swaps. Not that I would have weapon swapped, but I don't think there were weapon swaps. I don't remember now. But anyway, I wouldn't have done that anyway, but I would have tagged had that been available. Yeah, Awakening Sork was absolutely insane in Histria. So basically, the early days of Histria, people didn't really know how to grind a spot like that. You know, we take it for granted these days. But keep in mind that before Histria, everybody was basically killing mobs with, like, one-shots. You know? And it was really about your efficiency, like, killing them quickly. But, like, then rotating to a new pack with a new set of skills and mobility and all kinds of things. And also your mana efficiency used to be a problem for a lot of classes, Ranger included. Anyway, you didn't really have, like, the whole idea that you would group mobs and, like, you'd actually have to put a lot of skills into them. You know, if you were the right class, it was all about back attacks for the first time. Nobody thought about back attacks in PvE before. Like, this is all stuff that now you're like, of course. But, like, back then it wasn't like that, right? You would generally have no idea how to grind Histria. Anyway, because of this, it took a lot of people a long time to figure out on each class how to really break Histria. One of the first classes to do it was Awakening Ranger because Will of the Wind was so powerful when we got absolute skills. But another early class was Sork. Now, Sork could grind it really fast. And also, like, there were other classes that sort of eventually began to, like, pick up on how to grind it fast. Because, again, everybody had to learn this. It was, like, a brand new thing. Anyway, so it would be like replacing current PvE with doing only Black Shrine, right? Because then you're dealing with, like, really difficult boss mechanics comparatively to just open world PvE. So it was crazy. Anyway, so they nerfed Ranger very hard, and then they didn't compensate the Awakening kit, which was very weak and lacked back attacks. Because back then, Rangers couldn't back attack properly, which is another thing you probably would take for granted now if you played Ranger. She didn't back attack unless you were literally right behind a mob, right? So I had to be basically just behind the mob in order to get back attacks. That was only fixed, like, maybe 2 years ago. Anyway, but that's a huge damage loss in PvE. It's 150% damage modifier. So, that was not great. And then over time, more and more classes learned that they could be really good in history. I don't remember. Well, I don't know how many of you guys would remember this actually, but Histria became like a spawn of Mystics because Mystics discovered they could grind it really low gear score. So then it was like the Mystic Kingdom Histria for a while before we got Sakurai and then Starzen. Anywho, so yeah, so that was that. So that's why I almost played Sork, was because I was gonna do that. What else? Awakening Guardian, I played that for a little bit just because it was so easy in PvE, and this was again before tagging. But my Awakening Guardian could outgrind my Ranger who had pen weapons, and I put Tet weapons on my Awakening Guardian, so that's how down bad we were at that time. I don't think there's ever been a state of play where Ranger Awakening was that bad at PvE other than that time. I suppose when Awakening first came out, it was really annoying, very mana intense. Like, I don't know how to even, like, begin to tell you guys how bad the mana was. But otherwise, I don't... Yeah, that was definitely one of the worst times for her. She's very good now, by the way, at the right kind of grind spot, but that back then wasn't so good. So yeah, I played Awakening Guardian. I also, because I was shot calling in my guild at the time, it was brand new, because Enemy had retired by that point. I did that on Awakening Guardian, because obviously it's a lot easier to shot call in a class like that. Didn't know Ranger can Musa dash. A couple classes have dashes like Musa, Mewa, but they're either, you know, very different. Ranger's dash is obviously an iframe into nothing, and it's slow. So it's not nearly like competitive with the Musa dash, but yeah, it is a Musa dash style for sure. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Warrior can Musa dash. But just like Ranger, you wouldn't spam that in PvP. In fact, to be fair, Warrior has so many good options to move, and it is faster than Musa anyway, that I don't think that they would dash. But they can dash. Anyway, so yeah, but I didn't really stay with Guardian because it just wasn't my vibe. This whole time I never stopped playing the Ranger too. It was always stuff on the side. I don't know if there's another major class that I messed with. I mean, I toyed a little bit with Archer, but not ever seriously. Which I probably should have done, actually. But I guess only Awakening Wusa. I had Awakening Wusa tag for a while. Just because it was unique. People didn't really play Awakening Wusa and still don't play Awakening Wusa. But she has beautiful skill effects. Something kind of cool about the class. I really like Awakening Wusa, actually. I think if I could have a free tag, like a third tag, I probably would play Wusa to hop on it every now and then. Very cool class, Awakening Wusa. Really like it. I'm recently, I say recently, actually, it's been like, man, honestly, it must be like 6 months by now. I tagged Awakening Megu for similar reasons to the Wusa, but not quite, right? I thought the skill effects looked really nice on Awakening Megu, so that was the first thing. The other thing, which was similar to Wusa, and the other thing similar to Wusa was that nobody played it at that time. Nobody played Awakening Megu, and I was like, this could be cool, right? We could learn how to play this class, it would be fun. The other reason I tagged it, which is different from Wusa, was I actually was going to use it for certain PvP scenarios that Ranger doesn't deal with quite well. Awakening Ranger is my love, but she does have issues in certain types of PvP, right? The larger scale stuff. Her mobility prevents her from being a truly great skirmisher because mobility is so important in BDO, and it's been power creeped very hard. I'm sure you're all aware how fast classes can move these days. So that's something that I was going to, solve by playing the Megu. But then I just didn't get into it. I was so deep in my telescope grind at that time. For the telescope, I was just grinding so hard for that. I didn't learn anything. And then the Respo clip came out, like, I don't know, that was a couple months ago, where he was killing military, one of the I guess probably the most geared Valkyrie player on EU with a hybrid. Oh, thanks, Wakayashi. He hates me, so that's really funny. Anyway, so yeah, he had that clip of him killing military on the Awakening Megu. and then suddenly the popularity of the class just exploded, which is really sad because I was looking forward to being like the only guy on the class. But it's my own fault for not learning it sooner. I still don't know how to play it, by the way. I mean, I know basic stuff, but I couldn't fight anybody. There's like no guides on how to play Awakening Megu online. I mean, I salute anybody that can just learn by like brute forcing their way through it. I'm weird. I really hate the stage of not knowing. I hate being like incompetent totally at something. I don't have to be like an expert, like, oh my god, look how like esport level I am, but I hate not knowing how to do something. That really, yeah. So anyway, that's that. So yeah, I think that's all the classes I've played that I can think of. So I still have the Awakening Megu tagged, and I still do plan to play it. It's about getting that motivation to learn a class that is like very difficult to pick up, I guess. You saw the 10% spam clip and then you thought, yep, that's my tag. Yeah, exactly. So many people. That clip blew up. It had thousands of views. It was on Pisanity. And I knew once I saw it on there, I was like, that's it. You know, this class, it'll go from like basically nobody plays it. It'll be really popular. And you still see a lot of people on it right now. So how they learn how to play it, though, I have no idea. There's like one guide on the internet, and it's like some dude that plays console, I think. And I'm like, you know, can I really trust this guy? He chose to play console. So yeah, so anyway, that's kind of where we're at with that. So I will learn it, I guess, but yeah. Awakening Megu. Photon rerollers, yeah. Well, I mean, that is what it is, right? For me, it wasn't anything like that. I've had it tagged for such a long time. I just didn't get around to learning it. I was excited to learn it, and then I was so deep in the telescope grind at stupid City of the Dead for so long. I regret now not taking the time. So yeah, that's that. That's all the classes I've messed with. I don't think I've ever had a class that so hooked me. You know, I did. I got a telescope. It took me 6 months, but I got it. So yeah, there it is. We got it in the end. It took a long time. I was at City of the Dead for so long. Oh, I thought that was going to hit that. You rolled to Awakening Nova. You didn't like Awakening Nova is... I mean, she's just... Yeah, outrageous, that class. Outrageous. I mean, to be fair, yeah, Archer, you just struggle with the smaller scale stuff, right? I mean, the large scale on Archer is so good. PvE is really good on Archer, I think, as well, if I'm correct. Gunslinger. I hate that they're adding an NA class. I think it's like... It's just, there's nothing, like, fantasy about guns, so I've never liked the idea of a gunslinger in fantasy-based games, I guess, you know? When you have, like... I guess they'll always make, like, the guns pretty crude, so they won't be, like, some, like, AR-15s or something, but... Well, the Piper class, that could be really cool because that's, I think some Korean players said it was like, it was related to like exorcism in Korea or something. That sounds cool. Oh, I left a mob there. That sucks. I just think there's cooler concepts they could go with. So yeah, if they were to abandon that, I would not be sad.
I hate Rangers! I fucking hate them!
Crabbiest, thanks for the follow, man. You look forward to new classes because you can't stand current ones. Oh wow. Nothing is popping out to you, huh? The huge catalog of BDO classes. Scholar, yeah, I don't, yeah. Very underplayed class even now, I think, yeah. I think that, like, it was just kind of strange to get another female class with so few male classes in between. I thought the skill effects were pretty cool. Another guy getting a rich merchant ring from Ash Forest. I have so many hours at Ash Forest. How I don't have that merchant ring, I don't know. Yeah, everybody has it. It's not a rare drop. Well, it's rare, but like, you know, not like, it's not like, oh my god, how do you have that? You know, it's not that kind of drop, so I don't understand why I've been so unlucky with it. So many hours at Ash Forest. We're 152 hours into the Paddocks Island one, but that's quite difficult, so whatever, but, you know. And I don't have, like, insane Olin's hours, and I haven't done really that much Sakraya Upper, because that's terrifying to get stuck there. But Ash, I don't know. It, you know, yeah. I just don't understand what I'm, you know, what Ash Forest god I've insulted or something, you know. Maybe we should rock up there and just be like, this is my favorite grind spot. Wow. Yeah, the Ash money has improved a lot. That's a positive for sure. The only problem is now I don't really need to be there. Well, I mean, I can just sell the Debo necklaces. Obviously, I have the Pen Debo necklace, so I don't need it for that anymore. I literally would just go there, I guess, for whatever profit I could make. To be fair, I don't mind the Marnie and normal Ash. Dekia Ash obviously is fine and I can do it, but it's a little bit like sweaty. Sometimes you're just not in the mood to like permanently pay attention to your screen, right? Like, I mean, I don't know how you guys are, but like, a nice thing is being able to grind and basically watch stuff on my other monitor. Or in the case of streaming, I read chat, right? So sometimes, even though I'm more than capable of grinding Dekia, Ash, or whatever, I might not, because just like I literally cannot die at the other one, so. Is there a drop rate difference? Yeah, of course. Is it huge? I think it's decent, yeah. Well, I'm not that married to grinding Dekia Ash that I'm going to tag a Succession Tamer, but what I'll probably do is do like roughly maybe an hour every other day or every day at normal Ash Forest on the Marnie, because the Marnie's fine. It's not crazy, but it's fine. I hate these things, man. Just stay still and let me DPS you, I swear. I've had some pretty fortunate luck at normal Ash Force, to be fair, though. I must be over odds on my necklaces there, but I've never gotten more than one necklace there, whereas at Dekia I have in and out. Well, Red Orb was fixed in Dekia, right? So that they can't abuse it. To be honest, Red Orb is really what Succession Ranger needs to be good at PvE. A mechanic like that. It was irrelevant in Dekia. It's not irrelevant, it just doesn't work. They fixed it, I think, on the Global Lab in a sense, but still made it so it can't be abused. I don't think they're clueless. They just did it on purpose. Red Orb would have been broken in Dekia, so they didn't make it work. Oh, do they break it in normal Ash too? Good. They should remove it. It's a stupid mechanic. Like, I'll say it as it is. Like, things like that, like, break the... Like, the whole threat is that the mobs can hit you and then do a lot of damage and potentially kill you. Or you just press Red Orb and the mobs just aggro on the Red Orb and you just permanently back attack them. It's dumb. And it's not on a class that needs it badly, like, compared to... I mean, like I said, Succession Ranger's issues is that she's supposed to be ranged, but that means she doesn't get the back attacks, which means she falls behind in endgame PvE. I mean, I'm not, like, I don't care that much about Succession because I don't really want to play it, but obviously I have an eye on it all the time, and yeah, it's like, that would actually benefit from that kind of mechanic, so it could actually back attack for once. Which is why it loses so much damage all the time. How does Archer work? I think Archer has so many flips and attack flips and stuff that it works out okay. Because I heard he's really good at PvE, but I think that because he doesn't need to like Succession needs to like turret, whereas Archer doesn't need to turret. If that makes sense. Like, Succession has to stand there to get the most out of the kit. And then the mobs are no longer back attackable, whereas Archer's always moving. I mean, that's what I theorize, I guess. I don't know. When you compare the two numbers of the classes, I guess, but... Yo, Jasmine, thank you so much for the 79. What's up, man? Thank you so much, Jess. Yeah, 79 isn't even near my highest either. As impressive as 79 is, which is very impressive. But I think I've known Jazz since I started playing BDO, so that probably goes back to a little while. Maybe a sub from 20. And to be fair, that's not a streak, so he's missing a few months, I think, from not having a streak all the time. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it anyway, Jazz. Thank you, man. Where is she? Am I trolling? That it said the Winter Guardian spawn, right? Am I? Back here? No. All right then. I mean, is she up here? Oh, she's here. Why is she here? Huh. It's weird. Hey, what's up, Anglo? Speaking of a long resub. And Anglo's isn't even the longest resub either. But we were speaking out long resubs because Jasmine resubbed for 79 months. You guys have cost me a fortune in like upgrading sub badges. Do you know how many months exactly yours is, Anglo? I don't know if it's possible to see months instead of just years. Oh, there you go, 117. So it's 3 months and 10 years. There you go. Absolutely nuts. 10 years and 3 months. Imagine that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Almost, yeah. A little bit after Justin TV. I think I got my partnership. When did I get partner? Would have been like 2012, but or 2013 maybe. There's always a bigger fish, except for Captain, because he's got the longest sub. And Trilo when it comes to specifically donations. CS 1.6. Oh man. They were the days. Wait, your original Twitch account? How much are they worth now? Oh my god, are they actually? Oh my god. That's insane. You basically shorted yourself. That sucks. Well, it's 3 minutes. We haven't got a direct flame drop. Unlucky. Haven't even got that many embers, really, considering how fast I've been killing them with the drop rate I have. Oh, okay, I just had to complain and got an ember. Come on, drop. Did he got another one? Someone told me that he had a birthday the other day, and I totally forgot to say happy birthday when he raided me, because I forgot, because I'm old. Yes, Squall Shot is the one thing that's worth using the bow for. Well, you can use Binding Arrow because it's a fast animation cancel, but most of it's all about Squall Shot. You tapped another Pen Blackstar today. Wow. He's juiced. I tried to tap the Blackstar we got for free to pen so I could sell my actual one. It didn't work. He does seem to have the magic touch when it comes to Black Stars, 100%. That's crazy. That's insane. You should have just kept them all, you know, and just put them on boss ults and just, like, casually flex them like it wasn't a big deal every time he went to a boss. Then he could do a little bit, be like, open up his inventory and be like, hey guys, is this enough to kill Karanda? This guy triple pen black, so. No, overweight. Oh, it's the worst time. I'm just trying to burn off the last of the scroll. Got 2 embers at the end, though, so actually... Okay, the embers are way better than what I remember dropping. Well, to be fair, I would have had 6 when I said that, which is good, but not like crazy. Where is my last elite? Is it this one on the road? Wow, that's crazy. I think we did okay considering we got a little bit interrupted there with the ninja and I did full remastered with all the glorious lag. I think we take those. How much trash? I don't think the trash was too crazy. I think it was okay, but definitely I could optimize it to be a lot better. Almost 40k agris though. Yeah, I think the trash would have been better had I like obviously like really sweated for it, but I think it went okay. 38,269. It's okay. I know it's not that great. Looks like it's 700 Blackstones though. Holy shit. Definitely even though I could optimize it, definitely looks like Awakening Nova, so probably the queen of this. All right, so let's do this. Jade Starlight Forest. Level 2 loot scroll, Agris, yes. 3, 8, 2, 6, 9. 701, that's crazy. I know that like it's split from the other two, but like still. 326, 77. Yeah, so not too bad on the Caphras. 13, 8, 28, 3, 0, 0, 4. That's it. Oh, we didn't get an iridescent. I think with my drop rate, probably iridescent's like not too difficult to get. We only had the Sengun buff for like half, the second or third half really. Third half, third. Last third. Jeez. So yeah, that's what we got. 1.2. Your best is 442k. Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely think, like, if I turned off Remastered for a start, I'd probably go through it a lot faster. I get a lot of lag, but it looks so good. I hope they expand Mountain of Eternal Winter. It looks so good. Yeah, so if you get a Flame right now, it's, you know, big money. If you get Iridescent even, extra money. I don't think that... Oh, wait, hang on. We didn't add that. There you go. That's correct. Yeah, so pretty good, actually. It just is going to burn your Agris so fast that you wouldn't maintain that level of money very long. But, yeah. A little bit of improvement from the last time I went there, trash-wise. When was that? Does it have a date? Oh, 5 months ago. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. It is a 30% cap, so basically every point of AP you have is only 30% effective over the AP cap, so that's pretty extreme. The only thing more extreme than that is the Elvia spots, which are 5%, but most grind spots are 70%, so your gearing is helpful, but it's not as impactful as some other grind spots. Except for the totems, which are uncapped yet, but your actual killing of the mobs are capped. Oh, there you go. That was Jade Starlit Forest. I really like the grind spot. I'd actually like really vibe with like a Dekia version.